Welcome in, everyone. Ready to jump into another deep dive. Today, we're exploring Southwest Ranch's real estate. It seems like you're looking for that perfect blend of peaceful and comfortable living.
And Southwest Ranches really seems to check those boxes.
Absolutely. I mean, just from the source material we have, it's clear they're all about that luxury living feel.
Yeah, even when they talk about single-family homes, it sounds pretty upscale.
Right. But not in that over-the-top, flashy way. They really stress the whole peaceful, non-commercial atmosphere thing.
And that's huge. You don't always find luxury and tranquility going hand in hand.
I know. Makes you wonder how they pull it off. But it definitely sounds appealing, especially knowing how you value a little peace and quiet.
For sure. And the source even calls out a few specific communities within Southwest Ranches.
Oh yeah, like Landmark Ranch Estates and Sunshine Ranches.
Exactly. Those sound like prime spots if you're leaning towards those higher-end properties.
Speaking of different property types, I was impressed by how the source breaks everything down.
Right. Lakefront, pool homes, even mansions. Plus, they give you those helpful breakdowns by bedrooms. 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, it gives you a really clear picture of what's out there.
Mhm.
Did any of those home types stand out to you when you were looking at the source?
Well, it's less about the specific types and more about what it says about who's living in Southwest Ranches.
How so?
Think about it. They've got everything from lakefront properties to mansions to those spacious family homes. Must mean they're attracting a pretty diverse group of people.
Oh, I see what you mean. Families, retirees, young professionals, they're all finding a place there.
Exactly.
So it's diverse in terms of people and property types.
Definitely.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, so peaceful, luxurious, diverse. Anything else jump out at you from the source material?
Well, there's this part where they really push working with this specific real estate agent.
Antonio Ortega, right, from Antonio Ortega, LLC.
Yeah, him. They even mention he offers 10% of his fee towards your closing costs, but there's a catch.
You have to register him as your agent during your first visit to new construction sites.
Right, so a little planning is involved, but that could be some serious savings.
Absolutely, especially considering how pricey closing costs can be. But what do you think? In a market like this, with all its variety, how important is it to have a good agent?
In my opinion, essential. A local agent who knows the area inside and out can make all the difference.
Right, they can help you find the right property, navigate the whole negotiation process.
Exactly. Plus, they can save you a ton of stress and time. And when you factor in that 10% offer, well, working with Antonio Ortega seems like a no-brainer.
I'm starting to think so too. So folks, if you're at all intrigued by Southwest Ranches, it sounds like heading over to AntonioOrtegaLLC.com might be a good next step.
Definitely worth a look.
Yeah, I agree. So far, this whole luxury living with a peaceful vibe thing is really speaking to me, and I have a feeling it's resonating with you too.
It's definitely got that unique appeal, that's for sure.
Right, but like you said earlier, it's a diverse market. Lots of different communities within Southwest Ranches itself.
That's where the real exploration comes in.
What do you mean?
Well, it's all about figuring out what matters most to you. What are your top priorities in a community? Schools, access to nature, a buzzing social scene.
Ah, I see your point.
Once you know what you're looking for, then you can start zeroing in on which parts of Southwest Ranches best align with your vision.
Good point. So it's not just about Southwest Ranches as a whole. It's about finding the right pocket within it.
Exactly.
Sounds like we've got some more digging to do.
We do.
All right, let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and really get into the nitty-gritty of Southwest Ranches.
Sounds good.
See you in a bit.
All right, so you mentioned different pockets within Southwest Ranches.
Right, like different communities.
Exactly. And get this, the source also talks about the towns and cities around Southwest Ranches.
Like what's bordering it?
Yeah, like up north, there's Weston.
Weston, okay.
Super family-friendly vibe, apparently. Known for their schools, too.
Good schools, always a plus.
Then there's Davie to the northeast. Kind of a mix of suburban and rural.
Oh,
Yeah, they even mention equestrian trails there. Could be fun to check out.
definitely up your alley. Okay, so we've got Weston, Davie. Any others?
And to the east, there's Cooper City.
Cooper City, okay. What's that like?
Close-knit community, that's what the source says.
Nice.
And good schools there, too, apparently.
Wow, so many good schools in the area.
Seems like it.
So even though we're focusing on Southwest Ranches, it's good to know what's around it.
Definitely gives you that bigger picture.
Okay, so we've covered the surrounding towns.
Right.
Let's zoom back in on Southwest Ranches and those different home types.
Perfect.
Remember how the source broke them all down?
Oh, yeah. They got into lakefront homes, pool homes, even mansions.
Right. It was a pretty impressive list. Anything catch your eye there?
Well, they laid it out really clearly. Like if you want that waterfront lifestyle, there's the lakefront homes. Craving some Florida sunshine, pool homes are calling your name. And of course, there are those mansions if you're feeling extra fancy.
I love how they cover all the bases.
They do.
Okay, so we've got waterfront, sunshine, and fancy all covered. Anything else about the homes themselves?
Well, remember how you loved that Southwest Ranches balances luxury with peacefulness?
Of course.
Well, the source says even the single-family homes there often have huge yards.
Really?
Yeah, like big enough for those outdoor activities you love.
That's awesome. Plenty of space to stretch out and relax.
Exactly. Plus, if you ever wanted to, have some space for horses, maybe?
Wait, are you saying I could have horses in my backyard?
I mean, the source doesn't explicitly say that, but with those big yards, it's definitely a possibility.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is pretty cool. And it goes with that whole nature vibe Southwest Ranches has going on.
Right, it's not just about being luxurious. It's about that connection to nature.
Exactly. But don't worry, you wouldn't be out in the boonies.
Good, because I do like having things nearby.
Me too. And the source makes it clear that Southwest Ranches is conveniently close to schools, shopping centers, all that good stuff.
Oh, perfect. So you get the best of both worlds.
Exactly. It's all about that balance.
I'm liking what I'm hearing. They actually recommend checking out AntonioOrtegaLLC.com to see some of those available listings.
Oh, good idea. I was going to say, if you're really serious about Southwest Ranches, that website seems like a great place to start.
Right. Plus, you can get more details about that 10% closing cost offer from Antonio Ortega LLC.
Can't hurt to check it out.
Definitely not. Okay, so we've got luxury homes, peace and quiet, convenient location. But what about life outside the house? What about the community itself and the surrounding area?
Ah, the fun stuff.
Exactly. What's the vibe like in Southwest Ranches?
Well, the source gives us some tasty tidbits.
Oh, you mean about food?
Yep. They recommend a few restaurants, Capriccio Ristorante, for instance. Apparently, it's the spot for authentic Italian.
Okay, putting that on my list.
Then there's Shula's to Steak and Sports for that classic steakhouse experience.
Ooh, sounds fancy.
Right. And for something more casual, they suggest Bo Kemper's Sports Bar and Grill.
Nice. So they've got all the bases covered.
Yep.
Well,
Even mention India House Restaurant in nearby Cooper City for some good Indian food.
wow, I'm getting hungry just thinking about it.
Me too.
Okay, so we've got great food covered.
Yep.
What about schools? We talked about the good schools around Southwest Ranches, but are there any standout schools within the town itself?
Let me see. Yes, they mention a few.
Okay, tell me everything.
So for private schools, they recommend the Siegemont School.
Sagemont School, all right.
Super strong academics and tons of extracurriculars. Then there's American Heritage School with amazing athletic facilities on top of their good academic programs.
Wow, so many good choices.
And for public schools, they highlight Western High School, diverse student body, and lots of AP courses apparently.
So lots of options for families.
Definitely.
Okay, food, schools. What about community events? Does Southwest Ranches have a social scene?
Don't worry, they do. The source mentions a bunch of events they have throughout the year, like a chili cook-off, an annual holiday parade.
A chili cook-off?
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Right. And they do a family fun day, too, which sounds pretty cool.
I like that. So it's not just about living in your own bubble.
No, it seems like they really encourage that community spirit.
I'm all about that.
Me too.
Okay, so we've got good food, good schools, a strong community vibe. What about the outdoors? Are there parks or places to exercise?
Of course. Florida is all about that outdoor life.
True, true.
The source mentions Vista View Park. Apparently, it's got really nice views and a peaceful vibe.
Perfect for a relaxing walk.
Exactly. And if you want something more active, they suggest Southwest Meadows Sanctuary.
What's that?
It's got trails and stuff, perfect for biking and hiking.
Perfect. I do love a good hike.
And hey, they even have dog parks.
No way. That's fantastic. Do they say which ones?
Let me see. Yeah, Country Estates Park and Rolling Oaks Park are the ones they mention.
Sweet. Now I can bring my furry friend along on the adventure.
Exactly. Southwest Ranches really seems to have it all.
Seriously, it's starting to sound like the perfect place. Luxury homes, peaceful vibes, great schools, amazing food, tons of outdoor activities. I'm sold.
Me too. But before we pack our bags, remember what we talked about earlier?
About finding the right fit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We need to make sure it aligns with your budget and all those practical things.
True. We got a little carried away there.
It happens. But hey, that's what Antonio Ortega LLC is for.
Right. He can help us figure all that out.
Exactly. Plus, we need to get more details about that 10% closing cost offer.
Oh, yeah, that's a huge perk. Okay, so next step is to visit AntonioOrtegaLLC.com, right?
Absolutely. It's time to take this deep dive to the next level.
Let's do it. They even have agility equipment, for those pups who need an extra challenge.
It's just another example of how Southwest Ranches goes above and beyond for their residents.
Right. It's not just about the people, it's about making it a great place for pets, too.
Exactly. They seem to get that pets are part of the family.
Okay, so we've talked about the luxury, the peaceful vibe, the schools, the community, the food, all the outdoor stuff.
I think we covered it all.
It really does seem like Southwest Ranches has it all.
It does.
But before we wrap up,
Yeah?
I want to circle back to something the source really stressed.
What's that?
Their recommendation for Antonio Ortega LLC.
Oh, right. They were pretty adamant about working with him.
They were. And it makes sense. I mean, we've been getting excited about all the amazing things Southwest Ranches offers.
The homes, the lifestyle, all that.
Exactly. But we need someone who can guide us through actually making it happen,
Someone who knows the ins and outs of the market.
Right. And based on everything the source says, Antonio Ortega seems like the perfect person for the job.
Absolutely. Plus, you can't forget about that 10% closing cost offer.
Oh, yeah. That's huge, especially when you consider how expensive closing costs can be.
Definitely a nice perk.
Oh, okay. So if anyone out there is as intrigued by Southwest Ranches as we are,
Yeah.
the next step is clear. Head over to AntonioOrtegaLLC.com.
It's the best way to start exploring and see if Southwest Ranches is the right fit for you.
Exactly. We've done the deep dive. Now it's time for you to take the plunge.
Make those dreams a reality.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, folks, that's a wrap on our Southwest Ranches deep dive. Thanks for joining us, and happy house hunting.